Welcome to Celebrate a Sister podcast. I'm your host, Emma Walkinshaw. I'm a transformational coach. I'm also the founder of Embody Me program and the creator of 21 Minutes of Morning Magic. You may also find me on the yoga mat leading yoga sessions and also running retreats here in Australia and internationally. Here on the podcast, I bring you some pretty incredible guests. We talk all things self-belief, body acceptance, personal development, outdated beauty standards, and we also call BS on the toxic diet culture, accepting the beautiful bodies we were born into, letting go of all the beliefs, and raising our self-awareness. I also come to you from time to time with a little solo episode, a little Life According to Emma moment. I'm so glad you're here. Enjoy. Welcome to this week's podcast of Celebrate a Sister. This week I'm talking all things retreats, and this is in light of my up-and-coming retreat in India. I leave 1 week from today, so I'm incredibly excited and also a little bit of trepidation, heading to another country and hosting with a group of women, although I do have my co-pilot with me, beautiful gorgeous Yogi Loui, who will be there co-facilitating with me, but it's certainly going to be an incredible adventure in India. So I wanted to talk about retreats because often women will say to me, well, what do we do on retreat? What is a retreat? How often should I go on a retreat? What will I get out of it? So I thought today I would talk about what happens on retreat. So I believe there's probably around six little tips or six little things that I have noticed in my time of hosting retreats and attending retreats that I've walked away with, and also the feedback that I've gotten. So I just want to start by saying, what is a retreat? I guess you could say a retreat is when a group of people, or in my case, the retreats I host, a group of women gather and go away either for the weekend to a beautiful location or go to a gorgeous country where you explore. And during retreat, there are lots of beautiful things that happen. I think it's purely stopping and getting off the little mouse on the treadmill, taking time out for yourself where you remove yourself from your environment and everything's taken care of you. So that's my first tip that I see women really, or my first, little topic that I see feedback come back from women. And that is the fact that when they're on retreat, they are nurtured. And as the woman of the house, often we are the one that is nurturing everybody else, worrying what everybody else is eating, making sure the milk's in the fridge and making sure that the washing's done, and all of those little day-to-day tasks that you don't even realize you do. You just do them. You know, you walk in, you trip over a shoe, you pick up the shoe, you walk into the kitchen and you wipe down the kitchen bench because someone's made some food and left crumbs on the bench. All of those little things that we do as women that are just second nature. But if you were to actually probably diarize or list out all of the ways that you nurture and take care of everyone in a day, you'll probably surprise yourself, but it just comes second nature. So while on retreat, there is no picking up a shoe if you see it. There's no wiping down the bench. There is no hanging out a load of washing. There is no, while you're up the shop, picking up something for the fridge. There is none of that. You are totally nurtured. And in that nurturing, not even having to think what everyone's eating, that would have to be one of the biggest, as a mum, one of the biggest boring things is actually choosing what to eat, what to feed everyone, and having variety. So our last retreat, Yogi Loui, I have to take my hat off to my co-facilitator and my co-pilot. Yogi Loui last retreat in Byron Bay that we ran, she was in charge of all the food and planning out our meals. every single woman still to this day raves about how incredible that food was. And yes, Yogi Loui put a lot of time and planning into that incredible meal plan and menu over our weekend. But it was the way it was prepared with just such love and such beauty and such joy. So nurturing is a big one when you come on retreat. The other thing that I find myself and also other women have experienced is really deep connection. Retreats provide this beautiful, unique opportunity where women connect deeply with each other, because often we'll share experiences or stories. It's a really safe place, and it can lead to this beautiful friendship that lasts after the retreat. And I know at different times I've heard women say, I just don't have people in my life that we talk like this. And often it's just those beautiful, deep conversations that potentially could be as we've all just come out of a beautiful restorative yoga session, and maybe there's been a theme on the retreat about a certain topic or thing going on in everyone's life, and then just to actually share after the yoga practice. Whereas in our day-to-day life, when we're not on retreat, we might get to yoga, but often we don't afford ourselves the time to have a little cup of tea and a chat after and have a little debrief with our community, because we've got to get home and we've got to take care of people and we've got places to be and people to meet. Whereas on retreat, it allows you to really surrender and savor those experiences, because you're not coming out of yoga practice having to, get your shoes on and get home, get in the car. So the sheer fact that you have time and space with each other, beautiful connections are brought together. So often when we think, oh, where are my people? They're often at retreats, at yoga retreats or wellness retreats, because they've all got a common goal, which is wellness, personal development, self-awareness. So that's often where your people are, and you meet some great humans there. The next thing that I have noticed, my number 3, tip, or number 3 bit of feedback that I hear, is the self-discovery. So when we're on retreat, we're really away from the distractions of daily life. Women have a chance to just reflect, and maybe that, and what I mean by reflect is even just to have a chance to journal in the morning, or start to reflect on personal goals, maybe even some desires that they have, and sometimes actually label the challenges we're having, because this can lead to a really profound insight and a little bit more self-discovery. In the retreats that Yogi Loui and I host, we always have a component of personal development and self-awareness. I'm a transformational coach, as you know. Yogi Loui is a yoga teacher, but not just a normal yoga teacher, not that, normal or not normal, but she has done extensive study around healing trauma yoga, and she has got some many, many years of just expertise around spiritual practices. So the self-discovery is fabulous on retreat. The other thing that I hear women say, even when it's just a short weekend retreat, they say, oh my goodness, I feel so rejuvenated. As retreats do incorporate, well, we do in ours, the relaxation techniques and sharing of tools that you can take home with you. Often, we'll have a massage on our retreat. We always bring in either Rosie or Abby, 2 beautiful women that do some Bowen therapy or massage. Last time we even did a bit of cold plunging and the infrared, which was really cool. So that's another really great rejuvenation tool. In India, I am so excited. We're actually doing the Ayurvedic treatment where it's the massage. And I don't know if you've seen visuals about how India does these incredibly traditional massages. Actually, I'll have to put I will be posting while I'm away on Instagram to the story. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, go to my story as of next week, and you will definitely see lots of beautiful visuals of the divine India. So that's the 4th feedback I hear from women, the rejuvenation that they get from even just a weekend away. Then the next thing that I hear a lot of is people feel inspired and maybe even motivated, because when we're surrounded by like-minded women, engaging in meaningful conversations and activities, we'll often get motivated, or we might even start to look at ways we can make positive change in our life through the tips and techniques that you learn, through the conversations that you have. So there is inspiration everywhere, but often we are so busy in our day-to-day that we don't have a chance to settle in and just allow it to arrive. So definitely inspiration and motivation comes from being on retreat with like-minded women. This one is definitely going to be the topic of India, which is adventure. So often on a retreat, even when we've ran our local retreats just in Byron Bay, there's an element of adventure there, because often you're in this beautiful location. And I know we've done different activities that have been a little bit adventurous, that have been very joyful, carefree and adventurous. So that is my last little point that I wanted to share with you, how retreats can really be a source of joy, delight, but also deep awareness. And like we've all heard it, life is short and life is busy, and there is so many ways that we can potentially channel our resources, our time, our money and our energy to. But you, my friend, if you have a calling to attend a retreat and just stop the little mouse on the treadmill and have a little bit of time for you, you want to be nurtured, you want to make some really beautiful, deep connections with other women, if you would like a little bit of self-discovery away from the distractions of life, if you need some rejuvenation and some relaxation, maybe you need a bit of inspiration or some motivation through positive change and some tools shared. And definitely, if you love a little bit of adventure, join us for an overseas retreat, without a doubt. So everyone, I want to say thank you again for joining. If you've enjoyed this podcast and you find the tips and the tools or even the topics really joyful and informative and helpful and inspiring, please give me a rating in the Spotify or the Apple. I would really appreciate that. And please share with anyone. That helps me spread the word a little more and reach more beautiful humans and connect with more humans just like you. But thanks for listening. And if you are keen on going onto the wait list for our next retreat, just about to release another couple of dates for retreats, click on the link in the below the show notes and you can go onto our wait list. And I usually send out an email once a week to once a fortnight with what's happening and dates and experiences. Also stay tuned, because I'll be in India next week and the podcast will be coming from India. So I will no doubt have some stories and an adventure for you that I will be busting to share. Thanks everybody. Take care. Namaste.
I've been doing Emma's 21 minutes of morning magic for over 6 months now, and I absolutely love it. It's a great start to the morning. There's 7 minutes of yoga, which is some gentle stretches, 7 minutes of meditation, which is really great for the mind, and then 7 minutes of flowetry or journaling. And I just love the things that come up for me in that 7 minutes of journaling. I've come up with some really great ideas for my business, but yeah, just taking those 21 minutes for myself. It's not a long time. You can do it at home. You can do it in your pajamas. Sometimes I just roll out of bed and roll onto the yoga mat in my office. So it's a great way to start the day, and I highly recommend it.
How do you start your mornings? Do you wake and check social media and your emails straight away? Do you look at your to-do list? I have a very simple morning ritual hack called 21 Minutes of Morning Magic. I do this in a virtual group on Facebook a couple of mornings a week, so you are welcome to join me. That's the accountability piece. The other bit about this beautiful morning practice is it's so simple. 7 minutes of yoga, 7 minutes of meditation, and 7 minutes of flowetry. I've also written an accompanying book which has a theme each morning and a mantra. It's called 365 Days of Morning Magic. So if you are keen to join me and need someone to practice with in the morning, I am your spiritual jogging partner. Check out the link in the show notes.